Good news, please.
Let's hear the good news.
Well, to begin with, we have found a way to safely separate Vair's soul from your body and put it back into his own while expelling the parasite that is latched onto him.
Yay!
What's the bad news?
The bad news, I'm afraid, is that the artifact you need to put Vair back into his own body is rather far away. It may not actually be where we think it is. You see, while investigating, we encountered two principal problems. Removing and transporting another creature's soul is actually rather simple if you have the appropriate knowledge or equipment. I've done it myself on several occasions. The problems are that Endandravaya's body is already inhabited by a living creature that may have some control over it, and furthermore, we do not know how much damage this creature has inflicted on Vair's body, nor whether removing the parasite forcibly would do even more. For all we know, removing the creature would kill Vair's body, and trying to put his soul back into it would be, well, pointless. He would simply die as any other creature does when their body expires. To address this, we tracked down an artifact known as the Rod of Alignment. Its relatively simple, if exceptionally powerful function is to set things back into their natural intended state. It can only do so on a limited scale and needs time to recharge, but it should do the trick.
What's the catch?
The catch is that, like I said, we are not absolutely sure about where it is. We just have a very good guess that will at least put you on the artifact's trail.
You sure there isn't a simpler solution?
Well, you could perhaps gather a group of exceptionally powerful clerics to simultaneously heal Vair's body while moving his soul, but that would be a delicate process requiring multiple powerful spellcasters, provided they're even willing. Simply finding and recruiting such people could take years.
Will that be enough on its own?
Yes, though, depending on how powerful the parasite is, you will likely need to weaken the creature before the artifact can extract it. Living things can resist magical effects, but weakening the target will reduce its ability to do so.
That's not a mental brief.
The rod was last seen in the possession of Myastan Kimmerin, a morally dubious dragonborn druid. Without getting into too many details, he was last seen with it in Icewind Dale when going to speak to a storm giant friend of his who lives in the area. There have not been any reports of the artifact since that visit, though Kimmerin has certainly left their mark on various places without it in the intervening time, so we think it may have been left in the storm giant's keeping. If not, then they may have an idea of where to find it.
Interesting. This could be an interesting adventure. Give me more intel. Icewind Dale,
Where exactly is Icewind Dale?
It's far to the north, beyond the spine of the World Mountain Range. It's about a 1,200-mile trip from here.
You're kidding. It took me nearly 2 weeks to come even a tenth of that distance.
Yeah, I probably should have included that in the bad news category.
Who is Myastan exactly?
Myastan is his dragonborn clan name. Kimmerin has made a name for himself by protecting wild places and, well, destroying or sabotaging anyone that threatens them in any way. He has hurt a good number of people with his rather extreme methods.
How are we supposed to get this giant to help us?
I don't know. That is for you to figure out. I'm sure that a resourceful duo like yourselves can manage.
We should get going then. Any recommendations for getting to Icewind Dale? Preferably within this century?
Well, there's a ship heading north in the next day or so. I arranged passage for you, though you will have to find other ships heading north on your own once this one stops in Waterdeep. Shouldn't be too troublesome this time of year. Oh, and one last thing. One of our occultists was able to identify those grinning creatures that you have encountered. They are called and are part of a large, mysterious category of creatures commonly called starspawn. Whatever their purpose is here, it cannot be good. The few times the starspawn crew are mentioned in our books usually labels them as minions, shock troopers, and harbingers for even greater evils and agents of ancient mad gods. How they came here is unknown, but their very presence is troubling. The people working with them probably worship whatever elder god the group serve. I suspect that you have found the cult of the Old Ones, which may explain why the man in the mask was interested in the devil cultists you found in Adro's Tower. They would likely have similar goals and could be using similar resources.
The sage seems to be fairly composed, but he could be concealing something. It's hard to say.
What else can you tell us about these things?
Unfortunately, not much. Very little is known about them other than that they come from a place beyond the known multiverse. Morton Caden himself never dared travel to their home, as it is a place beyond human reason or understanding. Simply going there would destroy a mortal, or would at the very least drive them insane.
What might they want with Endandravair's body?
It's impossible to say. Many creatures that come from other planes have been known to open more portals to their homes and thereby facilitate an invasion. Theoretically, since dragons are tied to the very nature of magic in our world, they could use him as a focus or anchor point, though they would also need his soul for that, since the soul is what really ties dragons to Pharaoh. It could be that they simply need a host large enough for the parasite. There's also the possibility that they've taken his body to their home plane, in which case there is nothing we could do.
Thank you for the information.
Limited as it was. Keep this with you as you travel. You can use this to contact me from anywhere in Faerun at any time. If you're in dire trouble, or if you encounter something that might be very interesting to me, use that. Otherwise, abuse this privilege and I will sever the connection permanently. Now go down to the docks and you will find passage on a ship heading north. Good luck.
There you go, Gatra. We got a place to be. I'm getting ripped here. Hello, Katra. That was a long thinking time we had. Anyways, let's check the Wayfinder. Let's get going, Katra. Let's find new food sources while we're out. Be for the best. Let's save the money. I have a feeling we're going to get new gear when we arrive with this next place.
Need a lift?
Icewind Dales, please.
Ah, I see the prison inspector has caught your eye. Best hope you don't find yourself going there anytime soon, unless you have business.
How much farther until port?
Not much farther at all. See, there's our harbour. Just keep heading along that there path and you'll find your way to Caird Interval. Not much of a place for southerners, between the cold and the rough company, but you'll find shelter from the blizzards, and food. Good luck, wherever your journey takes you.
The barkeeper. Maybe that guy will have some information for us.
Haven't seen you around before. What do you want?
Friendly.
Storm Giant, please.
Have you heard anything about a storm giant in the area? I'm looking for one that's supposed to live nearby.
Storm giant? That ain't like a frost giant? Or do you mean a stone giant? Because we got plenty of those up on our spine. I sometimes wander this way to hunt and raid.
No, I mean storm giant.
And I've got nothing for you. Though you could always ask Kelly, your goat kicker. She's been around a fair amount, one of those adventurer types, always looking for mercenary work and places to explore. You can usually find her down by the lakeside docks.
Any
What can you
info?
tell me about this town?
Other than it being a hive of scum and villainy, you got the castle up the hill, the lake we fish knucklehead trout out of when it's not frozen over. And that's about it. All that's left after the rest of 10 towns after the incident some years back. Even the rogues of the world don't want to stay here if they can help it.
Have you
Anything
had any
strange?
disappearances around here? Strange sightings? Anything?
It's Icewind Dale. People go missing in the storms all the time, and monsters come down from the mountains and the tundra every day. Still, if you mean anything outside of that, no. Can't say as I've heard anything. People who get lost in the storms are either found within a week, alive, or turned into a walker. And the monsters are the same as ever. Then again, I did hear that something's been going on with the dwarves up in, Kelvin's Cairn. Lots of rumors and stories coming from them, though I don't think they've had any misfortune themselves. Just heard things through the grapevine.
So long.
Seriously? You're not even gonna buy a meal or a room? Ugh, wasting my time.
Sorry, sir. Okay, I'm probably going to get... over here.
Are you Helia?
Who wants to know?
Yeah, of
My
course,
name is
the vampire.
Katra, and I'm looking for a storm giant that's supposed to live in the Dale. Have you heard of anything like that?
Storm giant. Well, I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly what you're on about, but, well, my partner and I did see something right queer in the mountains about a month back, and it was definitely giant and definitely stormy at the time.
What do you do around here?
I'm a right and proper adventurer. Fighting monsters, digging up treasure, finding lost cities. That's my calling in life.
Have you heard of any disappearances or strange happenings lately?
Outside of the usual, well, my cousins in Kelvin's Khan have been talking about a lot of rumours that have made their way up here with the trade caravans with Mithril Hall. People going missing, losing their minds, and some stuff like that. Not sure how much can be believed. You know, people like to tell tales.
My name is Katra, and I'm looking
Storm giant. Well,
any details you can give me.
hi. There's a trail on the opposite side of this lake, right across from us. That goes up into the mountains, as called the Spine. A blizzard started blowing around one of the peaks in particular, just a few years before I showed up here. Never let up once, nor moved. Storm just sits there, blowing away. My partner and I, we thought we'd go see if anything were up that way. Thought maybe we'd find some magic item or a wizard or something causing the storm. Maybe knock some sense into them or get some loot from the expedition.
And what does this have to do with the giant?
I'm getting there. So, after about an hour marching through the storm, we hear this voice in the blizzard saying, "Turn back," and "You'll die here," and some such. We weren't about to pack it in, though.
That seems stupid.
Thing is, the snow was getting so thick and high around us, we could hardly even walk, and it was getting dark. We tried to find shelter, but just kept getting turned around in the storm, and we were getting right cold. Cold to the point you don't feel no cold no more. It wasn't until I hit the ground and everything started going black that I realized I was freezing to death. But then, next thing I know, I'm awake. My toes and fingers hurt something fierce from the frostbite, and my whole body was stiff, but there I was, lying next to my partner. We'd been taken all the way down the mountain to a little cave, and someone had even set up a fire for us. But here's the kicker. There weren't no footprints around us. Nothing in the snow. It was the wildest thing I ever seen, and I still ain't been able to figure it out.
Where's your partner now?
Mickle. Oh, the cowardly bum had enough of adventuring after that incident. He's working as a miner up in Kelvin's Khan, with a bunch of our kinsmen now.
Oh, interesting.
You said like a mum. You mean the face was a woman's?
Oh, far as I could tell, real flat. Smash nose. Though, but I was about delirious from the cold, so don't take that part of the story too seriously.
Any advice?
Any advice for someone looking to climb up there?
Yeah, don't do it. It was a daft idea, and by all rights, me and my partner should be dead. Might not be such a trial normally, but that blizzard will spell the end of you.
Thank you for your time.
Well, that is at least a little promising. What say you, Katra?
It's the only lead we've got at the moment, so it's probably worth investigating.
Well, let's get a little bit of money so we get a better helmet. That'll be our first priority. Get better helmet. We need 40 gold. I currently have only 3.